Happy Saturday, everyone. I have been looking forward to making these videos so much myself, just because I feel like this truth is, I'm just speaking it over myself just as much as I'm hoping to encourage you guys. So I've been really looking forward to making these every Saturday. And so, yeah, just wanted to say that I love making these just as much as I love being able to encourage and build into you guys. Anyways, today I'm going to be looking at two separate verses at the very end of 1 Corinthians. And so a little bit of context. 1 Corinthians is, this book is the first of two, so 1st and 2nd Corinthians. Paul is writing these letters to the church in Corinth. And when you read through these books, you can see just how much these people are really struggling with so many different sin issues. Lots of sin, lots of wickedness, lots of evil. And these books are full of Paul speaking biblical truth into them to get them on the path, on the way to Jesus, striving to be more Christ-like and to be more like Jesus in the way they live their lives, and spreading the gospel and being his hands and feet, all of that good stuff. So, anyways, I wanted to give that little bit of context because I feel like for those of you who are newer Christians, I posted a little video on this yesterday, but something I'm super passionate about is what I like to call lukewarm Christianity. And so I feel like a lot of this culture is people being, I think a lot of the pressures of the world kind of get to us sometimes, and we want to live and be like the world, but also have Jesus at the same time. And so I think that's something that kind of applies to what I'm going to talk about today. And so the Church of Corinth, they're getting out of their deep sin. Several times throughout 1 Corinthians, he talks about fleeing from sexual immorality, which that was a huge issue in the Church of Corinth. So, at the very end, he just said whole 15 chapters about fleeing from sin, dying to your earthly self, your fleshly self, dying to fleshly desires, all of that. So, chapter 15, verse 58 says, "Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, because of all of this," and the Greek translation, oftentimes in the New Testament for brothers and sisters, is like a family, and a family of fellow believers, the family of God, the children of God. So this, he has a deep love for these people. "Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain." Then, chapter 16, verse 13, "Be on your guard. Stand firm in the faith. Be courageous. Be strong. Do everything in love." So I wanted to look at those two separate verses because both of them talk about standing firm. And so my kind of little takeaway for you guys is the first one is to stand firm in your faith. Stand firm in your faith. Jesus talks about in one of the many parables that he told is the man building his house on the rock, or the man building his house on the sand. When the storm comes, the house on the rock stands firm because it has a solid foundation, but the house on the sand falls and sinks. So we need to make sure that our foundation that we're standing on is strong, and we can stand firm on it when all of the waves of life, all of the storms of life, like I talked about in last week's video, when we have the Red Sea on one side or the Egyptians on the other side, when we have all of that fighting against us, we need to have a solid foundation we can stand on so that we can stand firm. And that foundation is Jesus. Jesus is our cornerstone, just like the song says, "Christ alone cornerstone, weak made strong in the Savior's love." That's the song Cornerstone. So when we are standing on Jesus, when we're standing in biblical truth, because the armor of God, so the sword of the Spirit, the Bible is our sword of the Spirit. When we are standing on that, we will be standing firm in the faith. First thing, we need to have a solid foundation. Second thing, let nothing move us. When we have that strong foundation, we need to keep it strong. We need to be building into it by being in the Word, by being in prayer, by spending time daily resting and conversing with the Lord. And thirdly, we need to give ourselves fully to the work of the Lord, fully for the kingdom work, and do it in love. That's what the ends of the verse keeps talking about. That's what the ends of both verses talked about. We need to be doing everything that we're doing in love. 1 Corinthians 13 talks about love and how to love, and I've talked about this before. And the work that we do, everything that we do on this earth is work for the Lord, kingdom work. It doesn't matter if we're a pastor or if we are a teacher or whatever we are, or if we're still a student. We need to be doing what we're doing that in love, doing that for the Lord, doing it to glorify the Lord. Everything that we do in word or deed is for the glory of the Lord. 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, whatever you do, whether you eat or you drink, do it all for the glory of God. So, I know I went a tiny bit long today, but I think this is just such an important topic. So, my 2 separate takeaways: make sure you have a strong foundation that you can stand firm on, which that's Jesus. And I think there's 3 things. Second, we need to be building into that foundation, keeping it strong so that we can stand firm. And third, do everything in love and do it for the glory of the Lord. So I hope that was encouraging for you guys today. I'll see you guys next week.